Good morning, all my friends of the Bakes Persuasion. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Craig from Northern Kentucky. I'm currently working on a 1985 Chevy Astro. It originally had the 4.3 liter V6 in it. I'm currently dropping the subframe. I took the subframe out of it, put new bushings in it, welded up all the bad holes, and fixed a few spots on it. New control arms, new lower bushings. I figured, if I'm gonna build a base vehicle, I'm gonna start at the bottom and work my way up. I don't want to be able to drive to a show or try to go to a show and get halfway there and break down. It's just not me. I don't feel like being towed around. Plus, you got to start somewhere. So I figured, me, myself, let's start with the basics, brakes, tires, clean the subframe so I'd have good connections, no rot, no issues mechanically first. So here I am. You see the engine hoist. I do have the engine out of it. I got the front end a part of it. I did have it over in this first part of my garage here where you see the chair in the background. And I've suddenly moved it over to back underneath the vehicle because on the subframe on most cars, it depends on the vehicle. Some have two, some have four. They have multiple different locations and connections. My van had six. Out of the six locations on the van, it had two spots that were really bad. So I had a friend of mine that worked at a fabrication shop, water jet out some new steel plates to put in place of the rusted out holes. And I proceeded to get new bushings, and I'm in the final stages right now. I got two more bushings to weld the plates down on, and basically what I'm doing, I'm using the engine hoist and the jack to get the subframe back in line and getting it straightened out so everything's lined up, bolt hole to bolt hole. And then once I get it all lightened up and tightened up, respectively to a degree, I'm gonna spot weld them plates down. I'm gonna drop it back down. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna finish welding all the welds I need to do, and then I'm gonna get it outside, and I'm gonna paint the subframe on the outside. Now, the inside of the subframe is kind of hard to get to, but I'm gonna try to spray some kind of paint or maybe underbody spray down into where I can get to try to help to keep preventive rust. I also decided, since I was buying pretty much new parts to go up underneath the front end, that I would take and put a 2-inch drop on the front of it. I bought that in a spring setup, so when I put the new coil springs in, there will be a 2-inch drop. I'm not dropping the rear because I figured with the sub setup that I'm going to try to do, that between the speaker boxes, the speakers, the batteries, the amplifiers, etc., that it would even itself out. And my personal thoughts at this point in time, and I'm thinking out loud, is that I may end up having to put another leaf in because of that weight to even it out. But I won't know until I get that far. At this point, you're seeing the first stages of it going back together. Over here, just out of view, I have my engine back from the machine shop. Now bear with me, this is my first video. Sorry, first one I've ever done. And I got my motor here which is going to be a 5.7 liter Generation 1, 350 small block. I'm going with the largest cam that I can put in here based on 9 to 5 to 1 compression ratio. I'm not getting too extremely wild with it, just the basic modifications, because anybody that's driven an Astro van, especially a panel van, knows that the 4.3 liter inside these were pretty powerful, which putting a V8 in this van should make it much more powerful. Here's all the new parts that I got stacked up, just waiting for the warmer weather. That's all I've been waiting for. I'm not very cold friendly, although, working on the subframe here, you can see one of the repairs I made. This was up around where the power steering gearbox went up, that there was some rust holes. I filled that in. I've started to clean the frame up a little bit. And this is one of the plates right here that I was talking about, that once I bolt up the other 4 to hold it up in place and line it up, that I have to tack weld it. The other one you can't see because it's up underneath on the rear on the same driver's side. Apparently, I don't know what it was. It looks like maybe a battery exploded in this thing one time. I don't know. That's because that side of the frame on this particular side was kind of wavily, where the metal was worn down. You've all seen it. You know it. It's all in older vehicles with frames. But the concept of the motor, I started out, I was originally going to paint it this color purple. And the color next to it, right in here, I did as a test sample, was going to be silver. But now I'm kind of uncertain about the interior color of the engine bay. I'm probably going to stay silver, to keep it the way it was, because I've already got the inside of the hood done. It's sitting in the van itself, staying clean and dry and out of the weather like it should. This is one of the mounts that I've finished welding and got ready to go up into place. Just to see, I got the front end apart, of course. My future ideas, and I'm not really a speaker ported person. I've never was too good at ported boxes. I have no experience in them. I'm not going to say that I'm Mr. Know Everything about ported boxes or anything like that, but I do like my sealed boxes because I can run a little more power to them, a little more control, and I just like the way they sound. So far, basically, here's the inside of the van. It's 2 back windows and the driver's door, passenger window, and the windshield, and that's it. I got a lucky find. I've half-assed cleaned it out to get it down and get some of the dirt out of it. It was a country-owned vehicle. I bought it rather cheap, drove it all the way back. So, to give you a little idea of what I'm considering, anybody out there that has more knowledge than me, please chime in. Please pass me along your thoughts. What I'm thinking about doing is firing 315s forward, or not 315, I'm sorry. I'm thinking 615s, unknown subs, unknown power yet, but I do have in my pickup truck that you see in the background here, this blue Toyota that I drive, I do have 315s on an 8K Terra amp, and I like the way it sounds. It's not completely putting its optimal power out because I'm running at a 1.33 ohm and it's a 1 ohm amp, so I'm basing it off of that I'm not even seeing the full 8,000 watts out of it yet. Of course, in this Toyota, I have a 320 amp alternator that I bought from Jonathan Patrick. It's a CSI or CES, but I'm weighing my options. He's been good to me, and now that with him being at Brand X and what he's given me so far, I may go back with him. I may look at somebody else. I may try something else. I don't know. It depends on it. As far as power, I'm looking probably with the V8 block in here. I got 2 independent alternator brackets, and I'm thinking about running 4 370 Elite alternators to give me the power I want, which I probably won't need that much power based on I'm going to be running 615s forward. I don't know which I'm going with yet. I've been looking at old school kicker. I've been looking at the Hippo XXL. I've been looking at PSI, weighing my options. But, the 6 firing forward in the box that I was designing would leave me enough room that I think I'm going to try to engineer another box with the 315s out of my pickup to be a down firing box behind the 615s into a 4th order port. So basically I would have the box built for 3 more 15s in back. They would fire down, and the ports would come out underneath around your feet, whereas the 615s firing forward would be sitting on top of that port, firing straight forward. Then I would build the wall up and around it to represent that. Then, of course, center console, overhead console, staging, separates, and door panels. So that's basically is where I've started at. And understanding where we are in times right now with this bullshit going on that everybody knows, that I've been preparing for this, that I was given a week off while people figure out what's happening to see where we're going. So I'm going to spend this week trying to get caught up on stuff that I haven't had a chance to do, because working 15 hours a day, you don't get to do nothing but work Monday through Friday, and then come home on Saturday. I got kids, I got family thing, I got house, I got a work, I got a garage full of shit, take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. So I think this week, while I got time off, I'm going to spend a lot of time in my garage and just have fun with what I got here to work with. So, any suggestions, any tidbits, any ideas? My down-firing 4th order box, the subs that I'm going to use in this box, the total cubic volume for them, because they are a sealed box optimal, is 9 cubic. So I'm basing that as my 4th order side should be probably about 18. Any help, any knowledge, somebody help me. What I'm trying to do is design them to run at about 28 to 30 hertz, because I'm thinking that with the subs firing forward that I decide to use, I could run them around 60 hertz, and that would give me a broad spectrum, that I could run a broad spectrum over, from real lows to medium lows, then work my way up, and I would have no gaps, and I could do sound cue, and I could do SPL, and I have an overall nice system, reasonably powered. So any suggestions, any thoughts, drop me a word, and maybe sometime down the road, I'll give you an update where I'm at. I appreciate the comments, appreciate, the advice, be easy on me. This is my first video. Y'all have a good day. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. Don't get none of this sickness or none of this badness. Enjoy your builds and have fun with your base. Talk to you later. Bye.